Welcome to the It Factor. We're Jemmy and I, exploring a new blog post by Mr. Len Kaplan, CEO of CDML and MSP in Queens, NY, offering network management, voice over IP and UCAS, cybersecurity compliance, IaaS, cloud, and Microsoft 365 and Azure solutions. If you're a small business owner or manage IT for a growing organization, this episode is for you. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a single incredibly important source, the blog post Think Paying a Ransom Ends the Problem? Think Again by Mr. Len Kaplan. It's packed with crucial insights, and our mission today is to truly unpack why, contrary to what many might desperately hope, giving in to a ransomware demand is often the worst possible decision for small and mid-sized businesses. It's a dangerous gamble, and the article lays out precisely why.
That's absolutely it. Our goal for this deep dive is to distill the core message and equip you with truly actionable knowledge. We want to take you from perhaps feeling overwhelmed by the constant barrage of cyber threat headlines to feeling genuinely informed about what effective defenses actually look like, especially when it comes to the terrifying reality of ransomware. What's fascinating here is how clearly the article systematically dismantles the common yet incredibly risky misconception that paying a ransom is a quick, clean fix. It shows that it's often just the start of a far deeper problem.
Okay, let's unpack this. The article kicks off by highlighting just how much the ransomware threat has morphed and, well, escalated. It's not just about attackers encrypting your files anymore, locking you out of your own data, which, let's be honest, is already a business-stopping nightmare, right?
Right, absolutely.
The game has fundamentally changed. Now, a huge number of these attacks involve the criminals also stealing your sensitive data, customer lists, financial records, proprietary information, and then threatening to leak it online if you don't pay up. It's a brutal 1-2 punch that adds immense pressure. Why is this data theft component so much more impactful for SMBs, in your view?
That's a critical distinction. The data theft aspect elevates the threat significantly because it introduces reputational damage and regulatory risks on top of the operational disruption. It creates an almost impossible dilemma for many SMBs. You're suddenly faced with this gut-wrenching choice. Do you pay the ransom, hoping against all logic perhaps, that these criminals will honor their word, give your data back, and simply disappear?
Yeah, a big hope.
Or do you refuse and potentially face not only the loss of your data, but also public exposure that could devastate your business, your relationships with customers, your entire reputation? The core truth that thinking ransom ends the problem, think again, really emphasizes is that paying often doesn't end the problem at all. It's frequently just the initial hurdle in a much longer, far more expensive nightmare, riddled with hidden pitfalls that most businesses simply don't anticipate.
And when we talk about expensive, the statistics presented in this article are truly alarming. Mr. Kaplan points out that in 2025, ransom payments more than doubled in just a single quarter. Think about that kind of exponential acceleration.
Wow.
It's not just a gradual increase, it's a surge. And it's not just the behemoth corporations being targeted either. The average demands now frequently exceed an eye-watering $1 million.
$1 million?
And the median payment in what most organizations actually end up shelling out is still around $400,000. For the vast majority of small and mid-sized businesses, a financial hit of that magnitude isn't just crippling, it could be an existential threat. It's not just money, it's often the entire operating budget or more.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, those upfront ransom payments, staggering as they are, really are just the tip of the iceberg. What's truly fascinating here are the hidden and additional costs that the article reveals businesses incur, even if they decide to pay the ransom.
Right.
These are the crucial nuggets of knowledge that often get completely overlooked when a business owner is in crisis mode, desperately trying to get operations back online. It's a very human reaction to focus on the immediate problem, but the article forces us to look beyond it. First, you have the significant recovery expenses. We're talking about the substantial costs of completely rebuilding entire systems from scratch, meticulously restoring backups, and then, crucially, tightening your security infrastructure to prevent another attack. The article makes a point to highlight that these recovery and remediation costs often surpass the ransom itself, sometimes by a factor of 2 or 3.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Imagine paying $400,000 to the criminals only to find yourself spending another $800,000 or maybe $1 million just to get your systems back to normal and secure. That's a shocker.
That's a devastating double blow. And then there are the downtime losses, which can quietly bleed a business dry. The article really underscores this point. Every single hour your systems are locked, every moment your data is compromised, translates directly into lost productivity, lost sales, lost revenue. For many small and mid-sized businesses, especially those in service industries or retail, even a few days of complete operational standstill can be catastrophic,
Absolutely.
leading to immediate client churn and revenue gaps that are incredibly difficult to fill. What else does the article point out as hidden costs that might not be immediately obvious?
It definitely doesn't stop there. Reputational damage is a massive long-term factor that's much harder to quantify, but it has a profound impact. If sensitive client or partner data was exposed, trust can erode incredibly quickly.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's not just about getting systems back online. It's about rebuilding confidence. That's an intangible asset that takes years to build and moments to shatter, and it's incredibly hard to win back. Finally, there's the regulatory fallout in credit monitoring, which can be an unexpected and immense financial burden.
Oh, okay.
If personal data is stolen, numerous regulations might require you to cover months or even years of credit monitoring for every single affected customer or employee. For instance, if you're in healthcare, this would fall under HIPAA implications. That's IPAA, the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act.
HIPAA, right.
Or, if you handle credit card information, you could face penalties under PCI DSS Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. This is a hidden cost that can easily add tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to the bill, depending on the number of individuals affected.
Wow.
This raises an important question. Can your business truly afford that kind of unplanned, potentially open-ended expenditure on top of everything else? The article really stresses that this is where many businesses go under.
So what does this all mean for you? As if all those direct and indirect costs weren't enough, think paying a ransom ends the problem. Think again. Also delivers perhaps the most unsettling fact: the risk of repeat targeting.
Oh, yeah.
The article highlights that nearly 1/3 of organizations that pay are attacked again.
1/3.
And sometimes it's by the exact same group.
That's just brutal.
It's like you've just paid these criminals a hefty sum to leave you alone, only for them to see you as an easy mark, a reliable income stream, and return for more. It truly reinforces the core message. Paying a ransom offers absolutely no guarantee of recovery, and often it signals weakness, making you more vulnerable.
This is exactly why paying ransom is fundamentally not a solution. It's a dangerous gamble, and the article makes this abundantly clear with several key points. Even if you pay, there are zero guarantees. For one, your data may still be leaked.
Right.
These attackers are criminals, by definition, and they have no incentive to keep their promises once they have your money. You might pay, and they still dump your sensitive information online.
That's a terrifying thought. You go through all that pain and expense, and you still end up exposed. What else does the article say about why this solution is so flawed?
Another critical point is that your systems may remain compromised. Attackers don't always remove all malicious access or backdoors once they've been paid.
Ah, okay.
They might leave a remote access tool or a hidden account that allows them to slip back in months later without you ever knowing until the next attack. You've paid for a false sense of security.
Wow.
And perhaps most importantly, by paying, you've essentially marked yourself as a payer.
Right.
The article explains that this makes your business an even more attractive target for future attacks, both from the original group and others who share intelligence on who is willing to pay. You've proven to the criminal ecosystem that you're a profitable target.
So it's less about a solution and more about entering a dangerous cycle, like painting a target on your back for anyone looking for an easy score.
Exactly.
If paying isn't the solution, and it often makes things worse, what can small and mid-sized businesses do to break this vicious cycle? The article must offer some hope, some proactive steps, right?
Absolutely. And this is where the real value of the article lies. Mr. Kaplan's answer is direct and unequivocal. The only real defense is preparation.
Preparation.
This is the absolute core takeaway for any small business owner or IT manager listening right now. It's about being proactive, not reactive, and treating cybersecurity not as an optional IT expense, but a fundamental business strategy. The article outlines several actionable steps that are not only effective, but also completely within your control.
Okay, so let's dive into those actionable steps outlined in Think Paying a Ransom Ends the Problem, Think Again. These are the practical things you can start implementing today to build that resilience. First up, the article stresses the importance of hardening identity and access controls. What does that look like in practice for an SMB?
This means practical, foundational security measures. For an SMB, it's about using multi-factor authentication, sometimes called MFA, for everything. Your email, your cloud services, your internal systems, even access to sensitive documents.
Everything.
Everything. The article emphasizes that MSA isn't just a suggestion anymore, it's non-negotiable. It's the digital equivalent of having a deadbolt and a security chain on your front door. It also means strictly limiting third-party access to only what's absolutely necessary and constantly monitoring accounts for any unusual or suspicious behavior. Most breaches still originate from compromised credentials, often just a single weak password.
So it's not just about setting up MFA, but ensuring it's applied broadly and consistently across the entire organization. That makes perfect sense. Next, the article really drives home the necessity of strengthening your backup and disaster recovery plans. This isn't just about having backups, is it?
Not at all. The article stresses the importance of having off-site immutable backups.
Immutable.
Okay, immutable is a key term here, meaning they cannot be changed, deleted, or encrypted by an attacker once they're made. Think of it like taking a photo and immediately storing the negative in a fireproof off-site vault.
Gotcha.
And, critically, you must test them regularly. Don't just assume they work when disaster strikes. Prove it.
Right.
The article points out that many businesses discover their backups are corrupted or incomplete only after a ransomware attack. You need to know for sure you can restore your operations without ever having to even consider paying a ransom. That testing is non-negotiable.
That distinction between just having backups and having tested immutable backups is crucial. Third, the article brings up an often overlooked but vital line of defense: training your employees to spot threats. Why is the human element so critical in preventing ransomware?
It's absolutely critical because, as the article reminds us, most ransomware still gets in through basic human error. We're talking about phishing emails, social engineering tactics, or malicious links. Your team is your first and often most effective line of defense. Regular training sessions and even simulated phishing attacks can significantly reduce your risk. It turns your biggest potential vulnerability, human error, into your strongest asset.
A human firewall.
Exactly. An alert employee who spots a suspicious email can prevent an entire organizational shutdown. It's about building that human firewall.
That makes perfect sense. A well-trained team can identify and stop these attacks before they even begin to encrypt files. And finally, the article highlights the importance of investing in early detection. What does that mean for an SMB, practically speaking?
This refers to implementing tools that can identify unusual activity on your network before it escalates into a full-blown crisis. Think of it like a sophisticated alarm system with motion sensors and tripwires. The article specifically mentions concepts like fake honey files or decoy credentials. These are essentially bait left out to lure attackers. If an attacker touches one of these, it immediately triggers an alert, notifying you of their presence before they can do any real damage or spread across your network.
Catch them early.
Exactly. It's about catching them at the reconnaissance stage, not after they've locked everything down.
And to tie all these actionable steps together, the article highlights the final and truly crucial step: partnering with a trusted managed service provider, or MSP. It sounds like they bring all these pieces together for businesses that might not have the in-house expertise.
Exactly. Working with an MSP like CDML, as mentioned in the article, means gaining comprehensive, ongoing support without the cost of a full-time cybersecurity team. They provide proactive monitoring to detect issues early, often before they become major problems you'd even notice. They've proven recovery strategies designed to minimize your downtime if the worst happens, leveraging those immutable backups and tested plans we just discussed.
Right, the tested plans.
They offer ongoing employee training to reduce human error risks, keeping your staff vigilant. And they implement security frameworks that are specifically tailored for SMBs, balancing essential protection with your budget. Essentially, partnering with an MSP is how you gain that expert security posture and peace of mind.
To sum it all up, this deep dive into think paying a ransom ends the problem. Think again makes it incredibly clear. Ransomware is a serious, even business-ending threat, especially for small and mid-sized businesses.
Definitely.
But paying the ransom rarely solves the problem, and in most cases, as the article powerfully argues, it actually makes things much, much worse. The real solution, the durable solution, lies in prevention, robust detection, and thorough preparation.
That's absolutely right. The core message is empowerment through action. Don't wait until a ransom note appears on your screen and your business is grinding to a halt. Taking control of your cybersecurity future and truly protecting your business starts now with these proactive steps. It's not about being paralyzed by fear, but rather being informed and taking decisive action to build resilience.
And as the article suggests, a vital first step is to contact a trusted MSP, like CDML mentioned here, to schedule a ransomware resilience assessment. It's about getting that expert perspective on your unique vulnerabilities and creating a tailored defense plan. If you like this deep dive, please remember to click that thumbs up button. Till next time.